Connor Mackey, Terry Elson, everybody played very well this afternoon.
I agree. They did play very well. I think that certainly the first period was as good as we played all season long. Maybe I think we had chances at about 15 to 3 or 4, and we dominated early. Our special teams were really good tonight, which made a big difference. The leadership group really stood out to me, and then some of the kids just tagged along, and I felt like they really worked their butts off tonight, and it was a good night for us.
It looks like the Wheaties that you put out for breakfast certainly worked out because you guys had a really strong start. You really had that spark on that spring.
Well, the game at 11 a.m. is obviously odd. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about being ready, and there's just no way of really totally knowing how to prepare for it. But I felt that the guys obviously had good jump early, right from our very first shift. I thought we were on top of them. Johnny's line started the game against their top line. They dominated the first one, and then we continued to roll shifts after that. I felt like the guys continued to push from there. Well, we've talked an awful lot about that. We've talked an awful lot over the last 3 or 4 weeks that we want to get in on the forecheck. We've got a lot of speed. We want to put it behind their defense, especially early in hockey games. We did a good job of that. What that did is it allowed us to make plays from there. The offensive zone tonight was as good as I've seen us, especially in that first period. We really dominated hanging on to pucks and being strong on pucks and not giving them an opportunity to get pucks back.
Last question is obviously a close question. You know the atmosphere that pressure cooker that place is, and we played in your career how difficult that place is. Did you know that did Chris tell you before or after the game?
Well, I think that's on a personal note. I think I'll keep that between Chris and I.
Yeah. What's the past few days been like for you becoming the head coach like this on a basis?
Well, I think the first word that comes to mind is exhilarating. It's been absolutely fun. It's exciting. It's obviously I'm honored to get the opportunity. I think that it's a different set of circumstances than most guys step into. Where someone's had some failure and they've been fired and they've been removed from their position, and now you're trying to change culture. The good news here is this culture is wonderful. Chris did a great job. The system's in place. All of the coaches have had some input into, so we all believe in it. The players believe in it, and I've stepped into a good situation.
What perspective can you share about the culture that you like that you want to make sure stays with you?
Well, I think the thing that Chris did best for our group was he was a relationship builder. He did a wonderful job with young players and older players alike. He knew them personally. He got to know them personally. He knew what their wants and needs were, and he was a great communicator. I learned an awful lot from him, and hope to continue to push that same agenda.
What changes for you right
Well, I used to go home at 2 o'clock in the afternoon after practice. Last night, I got a chance to watch the UConn game at 7:30 last night. So I think my hours have changed to start. I feel like it's the excitement level of people of the game. People have always said to me that the best job in hockey is playing, and the second best job is being a head coach. And I agree with that now. There's an exhilaration about it. There's a passion about it, and it was really fun to just get prepared to spend the extra time. As I said, it was a long day yesterday, but I didn't feel like it was work.
Do you hope that the interim tag is lifted and you become the permanent head coach?
Well, at this point in time, we're going to focus on what we can focus on. I'm going to focus on getting the team prepared for games and keeping the systems the same way that we've had them. We're going to focus on working hard. We're going to continue to head down the same path. And the future is the future. At this point in time, I'm going to try and focus on the near term.
Steve, you mentioned playing is the best job in the world. The second best job is coaching. You played a very lengthy NHL career, 804 games at that level. Then you had a lot of experience as an assistant coach, both at this level and the NHL. How will your vast experience in hockey help you as interim head coach here in Hartford?
Well, I've been around pro hockey for just about 40 years now, and what I really have enjoyed about it is the people in the game, and I feel like I've learned an awful lot from those people. So the guys that I'm trying to emulate now, I learned from. There was guys that did some wonderful things, guys did some things that I didn't agree with. and I'm trying to amass all of the things that I really liked and saw over time, whether it was coaching, whether it was players, whether it was attitudes, whether it was energy levels. I tried to grab all the positives that I can, and I've tried to put that in place in my coaching career. The other side of that is I've always sort of tried to think as a player, what would I like to hear today? What's going to make me better today? You know, am I saying something that makes him better, or does it make me feel good? And it's critical that it makes them better.
One more question for you. Before Chris Knobloch left, did you learn anything from him while he was here as head coach, or did he have any like parting words while he was on his way out?
I learned an awful lot from Chris. He's a wonderful human being. He treated the players well. He treated the staff well. He was a great communicator. He continues to be a great communicator. I've talked to him several times over the last couple of days. We're all very excited for Chris. We're excited for the opportunity. I thought it was a first-class thing for the Rangers to do to let him go, because I'm sure it was a big loss for them. And to really truly answer your question, we talked about systems on a daily basis. We talked about players on a daily basis. I learned from him every day, and hopefully he learns some stuff from me as well.
Talk about, usually when you're looking at an interim tag, there's some big shakeup. This is obviously such a positive thing in so many ways. Was it strange at all then walking into this locker room where there was no huge, big shakeup? Yes, your head coach is moving on, but was it strange at all?
The first 2 days I went back to my desk. I didn't go to the head coaching room at all. I went back to, we have it set up that there's 3 desks in one office, and one desk where the head coach was. And for the first 2 days, I went to my office. It was where I was comfortable and where I felt best. And the third day, I finally went in with one of the trainers, and we cleaned out Chris's things, and I settled myself in last night. So yes, it's strange, but it was a thrill to be able to sit in there and know that you're going to be calling the shots, and it's become your team and your bench.
Obviously, one of the best parts of being a head coach at this level is getting to deliver some good news. So as far as, I know you don't want to look too far into the future, but what does it mean to you to hopefully be that person in these guys' lives that helps them go to the next level?
Well, whether I was head coach or assistant coach, I still feel it's important that you're making a difference in young men's lives. And I think that one of the key components of coaching is we're teaching them how to be good pros and good people. And I try to treat it that way. I always have. I've always been a relationship builder, much like Chris did in his time here. So I feel like I'll continue to do that, whether I was an assistant or whether I continue to be a head coach. I'm going to continue to at least focus on the things that I've always done to this stage and will continue to do.